Thanks, guys. All right, it's 5:30. I'd like to call to order tonight's regular Board of Education meeting for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025 here in the boardroom. Tammy, could we have a roll call, please?
Ron Liberty.
Here.
Paul Prue.
Here.
John Smith.
Here.
Brett Waller. Nubs Ashbeck.
Here.
Amber DeRizzo.
Here.
Jacqueline Gremler. Mike Cornisher.
Here.
Kevin Blake.
Here. Will you please join me, rise as you're able, facing the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Merrill Area Public Schools Board of Education meeting. MAPS respects the role that our elected board members serve and the function of our board meetings. Board members and administrators are committed to work collaboratively to provide our students with the highest levels of achievement. This meeting is a formal event, and professional conduct is the expectation for all in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. First thing we do is we give an opportunity for public comments to the board. We do allow up to 15 minutes. If there is a group of people speaking on one topic, we ask them to have one lead speaker for approximately 3 minutes. At this time, I'd like to call up to the seat here, Riker Remington, to speak on the boys hockey co-op, and anyone that would like to join him in support certainly can raise your hand after he's done. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, and thank you for letting me have the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm in here in support of my teammates, friends, and family to ask you that you do not approve the co-op for the boys hockey team. We feel that it is in the best interest of our school and team to not have the co-op, as it is not benefiting the program of East of being a part of it. The varsity team at this time is made out of mainly Merrill players. We have 4 players from East out of the varsity out of 19. Overall, there are 11 players from East out of the 33 out of the whole team. We feel that Merrill could be its own team and have a better program if we are alone and within the GNC conference. Many of the schools in the GNC are a varsity-only program, and that works for them. We could do the same thing and be a competitive team with them as we were during our youth years of hockey. As of now, we play Valley teams, and we get crushed, and the teams that we're playing will say stuff to us like we don't have to play our good players because we're playing EMU and we're playing our JV kids. The rest of the sports in the Merrill High School are within the GNC, and the hockey is still in the Valley. If we are not in the co-op, we feel like we could benefit the players and also the school. The student athletes of Merrill would not have to leave 2 days early a week for practices, and we would keep everything local with supporting our school name and support our school with pride. These athletes would have a better positive attitude towards our games and towards the program of helping develop even the smaller kids, whether it's skate with the Blue Jacks or anything. And the school would also save money by not having to pay busing expenses every practice, which would be 2 days a week. The hassle of scheduling games and practices with another rink or school, and we could feel like getting more of a following from our students and community members if we play all at the mark at the same time. We feel like that because years past in Wausau, we never get a really showing, and the 2 past games in Merrill, we've packed the mark and lots of kids have showed up. We have good numbers coming in the youth program to support our high school team. In the years of 2026-27, we would have 24 players from Merrill. 27-28, we'll have 20 players from Merrill, and the 2028-29 players, we'd still have 24 players from Merrill. If we were just a Merrill team, we could support the youth program and work with them and grow the sport that we love, because currently kids have been looking up to us and saying that we are a bad team, and that's the reason they have been quitting hockey. We would please consider giving us a chance at Merrill High School to have a hockey team of just Merrill and show the community and the whole school, students, athletes of Merrill, that we could compete with these teams in northern Wisconsin and show them that we could be competitive like our other sports teams here at Merrill.
Right. Thank you, Riker.
Yep.
As you know, this is public comment. question and answer, so we do thank you. And I see you have other support here. We will be taking that up on the agenda in its regular spot. I did not have any other forms filled out. Just for board's knowledge, who was all here in support of Riker's statement, just so I can see. Okay. I appreciate that, because we do have that one speaker per topic, so I appreciate you taking the time and the effort and courage to be up in front of everybody. So thank you for being here this evening, and we will address that topic later. I do not have another sheet for any other topic. You,
Can I ask a question on that?
there is a clarifying question only, but not a dialogue. So we do have it on the agenda. If you want to ask Mr.
Okay,
Hahn or
I'll
Mr.
wait
Murray
till-
later,
I'll wait till the agenda.
since it is on there, that may
Yeah.
be more appropriate, if you're all right with that, Nubs?
I'm fine.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd like to move on to board recognition. We want to congratulate Marissa Miles for an outstanding performance at the state swim meet in Waukesha on November 15th. As I go into what she did, I wanted to mention other state qualifiers. We do only bring those that go to the podium, so to speak, at state. But the 200 medley relay was Addison Jerovic, Abby Parks, Marissa Miles, and Claire Jerovic. 50 free was Claire Jerovic. I will go on to speak in a moment about the 100 fly efforts of Marissa, but the 100 free was Claire Jerovic, 100 breast Marissa, 400 free relay was Addison Jerovic, Abby Parks, Marissa Miles, Claire Jerovic, with some alternates for the relays of Brenna Jerovic and Carolyn Durbin. With that being said, and congratulations to all of them for being state qualifiers. What a great representation of the swim program, how awesome that is. But Marissa placed third in the 100 fly and broke her own team record with impressive time of 58.86. So we're here to recognize and congratulate Marissa. So congratulations, Marissa. Picture.
Want that open?
However you're. I'm sure with all these people here, you'd love to tell us how state went. I mean, it's a great experience, and you're surrounded by some teammates. So tell us a little bit about how that went for you.
Basically, we left at like 8:30 in the morning, rode the bus to something near Waukesha. We went shopping, which was really fun. We went to go eat, which obviously you feel your body, but after that, then we went there, took like an hour to put on our suits, which is pretty fun, just seeing everyone struggle in the locker room, trying to get their suits on because they're really tight. But then basically warm-ups went, and obviously you get to feel for the pool, and you just get to meet other teams while warm-ups, because there's like 2 warm-ups usually, and there's 8 lanes, so just many people, you get to like talk to people like during warm-ups and stuff. One of the college recruit service from lacrosse, which they're really good for Division III for swimming, which was really cool to see that, and I also did get to talk to him. And then the meet started. First heat is like more of the slower kids, and then the second heat is like the final heat. They'll like turn like the lights off, they'll play music, which is really fun, and like gets everything just going in your body. I don't know, it's just a cool atmosphere to be there, because everyone's there for the same purpose. It's not people who are like, oh, I'm just on the team just to be on the team. Like people who have tried, put so much effort in, and just happy to be there, I guess. So that's kind of a recap. But we did in fact get home like 2 o'clock.
Awesome, congratulations, and thank you for representing Merrill. Next for board recognition this evening. We'd like to recognize the Spark program. Our Spark students continue to impress us with their hard work, creativity, and leadership. This year they have taken on authentic business roles through their weekly coffee cart, expanding their offerings with baked items, and even developing a new weekly menu. Their dedication was especially evident during the recent fall bake sale, where they raised over $300 to support the Holiday Happiness Program. We're incredibly proud of their initiative, teamwork, and commitment to giving back to our school community. Representing the program this evening will be Grant Dahlke and Jason Wadzinski. Jason, take some other folks with you guys. Take a quick picture, and then we'll put Grant on the spot and let him speak and introduce some people you got here. All right, Grant, why don't you introduce who we all have here and tell us a little bit more about the program and what we've all done to be successful.
Do you want your full name or do you want JFK? Okay. So we have JFK in the lime green hat. We got Lucas Smith, Green Bannister, and Abby Thompson. 4 of our students that we have. So I guess right now we are running a student business of the coffee cart, as everybody in central office well knows when they come over here with samples. Staff have done a really good job supporting the program. The kids do an amazing job every Thursday. Usually we do samplings, Monday we do our business meetings, and then Fridays where is our execution days where they take it from the ground up. Usually we start out with a little meeting, and it's what they need to make, how many orders they have, and stuff like that, and they go and run it on their own essentially. So yeah, they should be very proud of themselves. It's a really good program.
Jason, anything you'd like to add?
No, you nailed it.
He did. Nice job.
Yeah, you covered all the bases.
All right, thank you all for that. Congratulations. All right, after board recognition, I'm going to turn it over to our Student Board of Education representatives, Parker Wagner and Eric Grunwald, for the update on what's going on at the high school.
Yeah, it's been an exciting past few weeks. Choir had their holiday concert this Monday, which sounded beautiful under Mr. Belial's direction. And the band had their holiday concert last week, which was a hit with the Rubber Chickens, in case anyone was wondering. This week and next week, we have the Deck of the Halls dress-up days. Today was Over the River and Through the Woods, which means to wear camo. And tomorrow is Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, so we get to wear fun holiday socks, which I'm excited for because I have an extensive Christmas sock collection. The holiday assembly will be on Tuesday, the 23rd, which should be a fun start to winter breaks. The student body is also rallying around Mrs. Bonat to show support, including wearing pink on Fridays and being flexible about her absences. We hope that her recovery is smooth and her healing is quick.
Students are working on improving their pre-ACT and ACT scores during their advisory periods. We set our composite goals that we hope to achieve this spring. Juniors hope to score an average score of 20, sophomores with a pre-ACT goal of 18.3 and a 17.8 for the freshmen. Christmas break starts on the 23rd, and when we get back, students will be signing up for next year's classes. Going along with that, the semester ends on January 16th, and students are looking forward to starting their new elective courses for the second semester.
Thank you, Parker. Eric, any board members have questions or discussion points for our board reps? All right, thank you both. Appreciate the updates. Said a lot going on and getting ready for the holidays. Following that up, we're going to have administrative reports. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Murray, and we'll go from there. Shannon?
Thanks, Scott. First on the agenda tonight, under administrative reports, is the Pine River School for Young Learners report. Mr. Martinovich is here, he submits this report monthly, includes his monthly data. We had a self-assessment the other night, that went very, very well. And so Ryan's here if you have any questions about his report. Next on the agenda, item B, is the food service participation report prepared by Laura Krause. She is not here this evening, but her report is always very self-explanatory, and if you have any questions for her, I can forward those on to her. Seeing none, item C is the Director of Pupil Services Special Education report prepared by Amber Luska, who is here this evening to answer any questions that you may have. Topics on her report include some transportation, particularly in the world of special education transportation, some information on 7 mindsets, some information on nurse visits, et cetera, with our new nursing model. And Amber is here if you have any questions. Item D is the Director of Curriculum Instruction report prepared by Amanda Patterson. Her report focuses on professional development, planning, and classroom visits. And I just want to recognize Amanda. I see her hiding back there. Amanda's done an excellent job this year of getting into classrooms. She's really made that a focus, and she's providing really good feedback to our staff to ensure that the initiatives that we are working very hard to get going in the district are being making their way to the classroom as expected. So congratulations to Amanda for being present in the classrooms. If there are any questions for Amanda, she is here. Item E is the Director of Finance report, including some budget assumptions going into 26-27, some updates. Mark Hall is here, our Finance Director. Much of this was discussed at length at HR Finance, but if there are any follow-up questions for Mark, again, he is here this evening. Item F is the Director of Human Resources report. It was prepared by Heather Soberg, who's here this evening. Talks about an upcoming retiree meeting. We're in the midst of a CSIS 6 compensation review for support staff positions. Some information about elementary summer schools and student teachers and staff check-ins. Heather and Casey have been doing a great job of rounding with our new staff this year, which is a really important part of our onboarding process, and they're getting out and checking in with all of our new teachers, new staff on a regular basis, and that's been real positive. She's recording the feedback and sharing that out with us. So Heather's here if you have any questions regarding that. Item G, health insurance structure, was discussed at length at HR Finance. We had a presentation from M3, which focused on the possibility of going self-insured with a stop-loss insurance option in there. Many of you here were here for that presentation as well. The next step is we'll start looking at some costing and come back and revisit that subject through HR Finance in January. But Heather is here if you have any questions for her on that topic. There was a lot of great discussion and questions last week on that. Item H is the Director of Buildings and Grounds Transportation update. Nick is here this evening, talks about some transportation updates. We continue to meet with CODIS every week. Some school forest news, some vacancies, et cetera, in his report. So if you have any questions with him with regard to that, he is here. We've also had some discussions about school cancellations, and we will watch that again tomorrow. Tomorrow sounds like it could be kind of a dicey one around here, so we'll keep an eye on that overnight and into tomorrow as well. That doesn't mean school's canceled tomorrow, so don't misunderstand. Then item I is the superintendent's report. I talk about some of the community communications we've been doing regarding property taxes. Of course, that's been a hot topic in our district, and we'll continue to get that messaging out. We've done things in the photo news, social media. I did a video that had, I think, we're up to 14,000 views on that. So that's been helpful. There's some feedback now that we just discovered coming out of Madison, so we'll address that as well moving forward. But if there's any questions on that. We've also some information about how we've been checking in with PLCs and guided instruction time, win time, because we want to make sure that we're very present and seeing what's happening in the classrooms, and that's been real positive. And then finally, there's a little paragraph in there about peer observations that have started last week at all the schools. The spirit of that is to get teams of teachers in to watch other people's work, learn from each other, share some feedback and those kind of things. And so those are going on right now as part of our 100-day plan impact cycle, our current impact cycle. So we have to answer any questions about that as well. That's all I got. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shannon. After administrative reports, we go right into committee reports. I'd ask board members if they have any questions, starting with our policy committee. Attached were the draft minutes from the November 17th committee meeting. Paul Prue is chair is here, as well as other members of the policy committee. Board members have any questions this evening for our policy committee? Questions for our policy committee? Otherwise, we will move on to board member questions for Finance Human Resources Committee. Draft minutes from the December 10th committee meeting were forwarded. John Smith as chair and other members of the Finance HR Committee are available for board member questions. Any board members have questions for our Finance HR Committee? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to Curriculum Technology Pupil Services Committee, our CTP. Draft minutes from the December 10th committee was provided. Paul Prue is acting chair, and other members of the CTP committee are available for board member questions. Any board members have questions for our CTP committee this evening? Hearing and seeing none, we will move on our agenda. Next is unfinished business. We do not have anything categorized as such, so we'll move on to Board of Education business. Go ahead, John.
Make a motion to move items I and J to the beginning of the agenda.
A motion to move I and J.
I'll second.
Motion by John, second by Ron. Do we have any question or discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. So we will start with, instead of letter A, we will go down to I. Approval of the boys hockey co-op. I'd ask Chris on to come up to the microphone. Attached is a topic summary sheet provided by Chris Hahn. There is a recommended motion from our Finance Human Resources Committee, if anyone is willing to make a motion at this time. We're looking for more.
Purposes of discussion, move to approve.
Motion by Paul. A second by Mike. So at this time, for purposes of discussion, we have a motion by Paul, a second by Mike, for the approval of the renewal of the 2026 WIA Boys Ice Hockey Co-op between Merrill, Wausau East, and Wausau Newman Catholic. That is, we need a motion to have discussion, so that's where we're at. I will open the floor of board members to questions or discussion. Or if any, I believe Nubbs, you had your hand up earlier at public comment, now would be a great time.
Okay.
Thanks, Nubbs.
First of all, I think that's a great idea for us to have our own team if we have enough players. But my question is, if some of the players from other cities wanted to join us, could they?
If the
Because they have to open enroll, right?
They would have to open enroll and
move.
not be, like, they could be freshmen or lower. There's a waiting period of a year if they were any older than that. But yeah, they would have to open enroll to be a part of the program.
Okay, that answers that question. Next question I don't follow hockey that close, so, but from what I'm hearing is, do we have enough ice time? And is our ice rink, I'm hearing that we need repairs out there. Is that true?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
Dan hasn't talked to me about that at all.
All right.
And there's plenty of ice time.
Yeah, he'll give us priority for ice time if
Okay.
that was the direction we chose to go, yes.
So from a financial standpoint, would save busing and it would save time for the kids traveling to practice and all that, but, is it gonna cost us a lot more for ice time then if we're gonna have practice here all the time?
So right now, we do divide everything evenly with Wausau East. So transportation costs for away games is also split evenly. So it's, honestly, it would come out to
So
in the
wash.
same ballpark
It'd be a
either
wash.
way.
It'd
Yeah.
be a wash.
Yep.
Okay, so, you know, I think it's a great idea. I can remember my freshman year in high school, the football, we didn't score a point the whole year, we got killed. It's not fun to get, you know, to get beat 9-0 in hockey or 40-0 in football every game. You lose your players. So if we wanna have a team, I think if we got enough to support a team, I'm for it.
Okay. Paul and John?
You mentioned going into the Great Northern Conference, will they go in this year?
No.
If we separate?
The following, or not like, the following school year, or next school year, the 26-27 school year, yes.
Any additional questions, Paul? Thank you. John?
I think this was in the CPT committee meetings where this originated, right? And that is kind of contrary to what I heard at the CPT committee, at least the vibe I'm getting right now. So can we back the
Yep.
vote up to the beginning and tell me how we got here?
Well, I still think we can't, it's not feasible this time around. I think that is something we can do in the future. So for next year, we'd have 13 seniors out. Next year, I think we would be fine. Like, honestly, we could support our own team next year, without a doubt. The following year, if everybody stays out for hockey, we'd have 4 seniors, 3 juniors, a very small group of sophomores, and, or I'm sorry. Yeah, 27, 28. We'd have 4 seniors, 3 juniors, a very small group of sophomores, and then a big group of freshmen incoming, right? That's where we would make up that. Safety-wise, I don't think it's a great idea to have a ton of freshmen on the ice, like the size differences between freshmen and seniors. We had a lot of freshmen playing from Mr. Remington's group. There was quite a few injuries with those kids that year. I also believe that a JV team is important to develop our younger players as well. I honestly hope that we can go out on our own because with that freshman group and below, the numbers do start to pick up as long as like, we don't have a crystal ball and can't see in the future. But if those numbers hold, we should be able to go out on our own.
So the reason this came up at CTP is because it's time to renew it.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
The origination, it's every other year situation, the deadline is what, February?
Yep.
So this is maybe the first time I've ever heard of a co-op, like, going a break away from a co-op, it's maybe a problem.
Yeah.
Would we automatically be GNC, I'm assuming we would?
We would.
Okay. And then, going in and out of co-ops is tough to do, especially I'm assuming if we do this, East is going somewhere else or going defunct. And
Yep.
so if we go out, go independent, by another year, we don't have the numbers, what's our option after that?
We hope somebody,
Because in order to do a co-op, you have to hook up with a school that can't sustain their own program.
correct.
Tomahawk's thriving, West is thriving, Antigo, Wexford, they all have their own programs, right? So where would we have to go?
I don't even know where we would go in the area, because we'd need somewhere relatively close, but, and again, no crystal ball.
Yeah.
Their Tomahawk could be down in 2 years,
Yeah.
but maybe. We don't know.
I mean, I would love if we had the numbers to support it. That's,
Same.
yeah, that's great.
Ron had a question, followed up by John.
CTP committee was a week ago. Well, where did this come from in a week?
Actually, Mr. Remington talked to me at school, and I let him know that it was coming before the board, and he would be given the opportunity to,
Okay. But what does Wausau East and Newman think? Do they know about this?
no. But they would not like it. I can say that with confidence.
You gotta take care of yourself.
Yep. But personally, my opinion is that it's not feasible for the next 2 years. Like, I don't think we can support a program. Like, when these guys are seniors, I think that year would be fine. It's just the following years where the following year where I would have concerns. And then we might not even be able to sustain a hockey program that year if the kids in the youth program don't keep coming out. So there is a possibility that we wouldn't even have a hockey program for the 27-28 school year if we went out on our own.
Chris, is a request for conference realignment for a hockey option? And I don't know what the timeframes are on that.
We couldn't not, it would be the same time, the 2 years in the future, yeah.
I guess I would trust, I heard competitive balance and some things. There has to be someone that's been leading the way in the GNC as well, right? If it's
Tomahawk.
Pines and Tomahawk or whoever it is.
Yeah,
there
Tomahawk
has
and
to be
Pines are always
someone that-
very strong.
Okay.
And right now, we're not the worst team in the valley. Last year, we beat Marshfield twice. But, like, I do feel for these guys. They're a very talented class of athletes. Like, I 100% know why they want to be on their own. But I just don't think the following year it would be beneficial for their class, but not the others.
I know we've had some discussion in the past, and not everybody's been on the board, Nubs, I know, maybe John. One of the concerns before the co-op was hockey going away in Merrill with budget cuts. And we've had people sit divided in the aisles in the ranks speaking as to why more money should go or should not even go to athletics. And then they started nitpicking if it was hockey, soccer, swimming, wrestling, whatever it was, and we've had presentations of where education first, where does that go? Just bringing up a point that if it does, if you get through the discussion and cooperative goes away and there's not another option, board members may see X number of dollars coming back into the budget and feel that the hand is forced, and a big group of 7th or 8th graders as they get to high school may be very disappointed. I'm for the students. I'm listening and wanting to be competitive. I've been an athlete or some semblance of that most of my life, and I hear what people are saying, but I want people to ask questions now. I mean, this is an important decision to them and for the school. I would trust, as stated, for all intents and purpose, budget-wise, we would call it neutral right now. We're not even going one way or the other. You add some coaches, less transportation, you pay a little more busing and coordination. So I don't see this as, personally, unless I'm wrong, as a budget issue tonight.
It is not.
It's local versus co-op, it's competitive, and some numbers as to a year or 2 years here, what that looks like versus this discussion in 3 years. John?
So the other members, I don't believe Lawson Newman faces anybody right now.
Lawson Newman has
Nobody right now.
Bowen Reed was the last one.
Yep.
Corbin moved to
Mosley.
The Wausau East program, I mean, do they contribute to all the gaps that we're anticipating? Like,
They
do they
do.
provide, and I heard they have 4 members this year, so then next year during that gap
On-
year.
On varsity.
4
right.
varsity members.
On varsity, currently. There are more students at the lower level.
So they would, our participation with them would fill in the gap, or are we still short anyway? Kind of the question I have.
No, we could sustain with Wausau East. Yes.
One other question.
Yeah.
February is the deadline,
That's correct.
so, in light of this move, this type of discussion would typically occur at committee level with input from all parties, and all parties obviously want something to say about their own program. I have one vote, but I don't play hockey or watch it, so, I mean, is it beneficial to table it for 1 month? So that the parties can at least
There's not.
exchange information, you know, because until, if people aren't happy one way or the other, it doesn't do anything for the program either. So I would say a tabling of it and then follow back up, just to at least share opinions on both sides inside the program, not inside the boardroom. That sounds sensible to the. Shannon, what are your thoughts on the table?
I think it's a great idea. This is kind of a new development for us, and so certainly since last Wednesday, but it wasn't, and now. Chris, can I assume that if we had 30 kids, we wouldn't even be doing this?
Correct.
Right. we'd have our own too. So
Like,
it's not
honestly,
a- It's a matter of feasibility.
I feel for these guys, I really, really do. But we also have to look at the classes beyond, right? Like, that's our job, is to look at the big picture, and I don't think we can sustain it in that 27, 28 school year, and that's what I worry about. If we lose hockey for that year, then what happens?
Well, I motion.
Can I ask for just a quick second? I want to give Riker a chance to come up and just say one more thing or a question before we table or potentially motion something further?
Just wanted to point out that the reason like most of the kids that we are not getting kids to contribute from East is the reason they'll be from the east side of Wausau, and they will say they don't want to play for our program because we suck or because we get blown out by West, Spash, and they want to go play for a solid program. Because like last year, we were supposed to get a goalie from East Side, and his dad ended up being one of our coaches and helping out. But he decided to go to West because he wanted to play for a solid team instead of playing for us. And so far, the kid hasn't played at West, and he's just sat the bench when he could have came to us and contributed to our program and maybe even played varsity or JV, whichever ice minutes it was.
And he's not wrong. East does have, like a lot of their top hockey kids that live on the east side do open enroll at West. That's true.
And we've had some Merrill students in the past go to West unsuccessfully, actually. To your point, right here,
Yeah.
I think you bring up a good point. They go there for a chance to win and not skate.
Mhm.
And I hate to say it that way, but I know some people that after graduation came to me and said, kind of wish I was still in Merrill co-op or not, because I would have skated, I would have started, I would have made a difference.
Mm.
But I can't speak for what you're going through. And I believe WIA spoke at one time with some changing of activities directors in Wausau that they would not allow East and West to co-op or be together based on their enrollment sizes. Is that in part?
East and West were exploring that. The Valley Conference voted that
Was the
down.
conference, not WIA?
Yep.
Thank you. I'll look to
I'll
John, we
make a
do.
motion to table item I, for the time being.
I have it. Do I need to act on the first motion for discussion purposes? Or are we allowed to table?
You can table it, but if it has to, then, yeah.
So can we withdraw the motion with Paul and Ron's permission? And then
Motion to table item I.
I'll second.
second by Amber. Any additional discussion on tabling item I till January through CTP to the regular board meeting? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion to table till January signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries to table this topic to January 7-0 on a voice vote.
Appreciate his coming in though, and speaking up, let us know.
We will go to item J while we have Mr. Hahn up
So
here.
you want to talk about girls hockey?
We're going to talk about the approval of the girls hockey co-op. This has gone through Finance HR Committee with a recommended motion there as well. Anyone willing to make a motion on item J? John?
I motion to approve the renewal of the 2026-2028 WIAA Girls Ice Hockey Co-op between BC Everest, Mosinee, Wausau East, Wausau West, Merrill, and Stratford.
Motion by John, we have a second by Paul. We would like to just go through again and highlight this. I think this one's a little more clear cut than the other one for discussion purposes. We have not had,
The last 2 years, we have not been in a girls' hockey co-op. We were previously with the same group. We have a girl or two interested in playing next year, and then 3 to 4 the following year. So they came and did the same thing at a board meeting previously, and we've moved forward.
okay, so I would look for additional discussion or questions while we have Ms. John at the microphone. Any clarifying questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries on a voice vote, 7-0. All right, thank you, Chris. Next, we will, as they say, take it back to the top. Third item, we will go to A, WASB resolutions for the delegate assembly. Just a reminder, at state convention, I am our board's delegate, and the packet and the proposed resolutions from Wisconsin Association of School Boards for that delegate assembly were attached. I do not know if anyone has either questions or if they have specific items that they would like to address this evening. Just as some highlights, while there are a number of things, this is the first time since I've been our board's delegate that we've had opposing resolutions. They decided at the resolution committee level, and you can only, if you approve the first one, the second one in essence disappears, but it's on the topic of decoupling for the public and private school funding. So please make sure you're reading those and talk to myself as to where you're at there. Some of these are very specific to other areas of our state being the focus. I would say resolution number 2 has been near and dear to us because they're looking for some revisions to how the school report card works and what that looks like as far as student growth and achievement, how that is valued and weighted in there, and some of the other things that's part of that process. Those were some of the notes that I had of some of the biggest ones. I don't know if anyone saw anything else. We do have, a little over another month. The one that we've talked about at the board table based on some COVID funds in the past, some people were also bringing up a resolution for universal state covered meals. So whatever monies and people were not covered by free and reduced lunch, they wanted the state to subsidize that through this proposed resolution through the Eau Claire School District. Keeping in mind all of the resolutions and things that we talk about at the delegate assembly is how we are working and guiding Wisconsin Association for School Boards, or WASB, to be out there and talking to everyone in Madison as to how to support what our district and the other districts in the state are looking for. So just keep that in mind. We're not trying to change laws. We're trying to guide how they talk, and they have a resolution committee and a book of resolutions that some are being amended, some are new that they're creating. So that said, any additional discussion or questions? Otherwise, feel free to reach out, go through that, and I will have some additional discussions with Shannon as well for some more localized data as I go down there and share our thoughts on that as well to support Merrill. Since that, do we need any? We We don't need a motion on that, do we? Being that there's nothing going on for action. Let's move to the next item then, preliminary 2026-2027 school calendar review and discussion with possible approval. Topic summary sheet was provided by Heather Soberg, which highlighted some committee work on the school calendar committee advisory committee. There is a recommended motion if someone's willing to make a motion prior to discussion. Mike?
Motion to approve the 2026-2027 school calendar drafted.
Motion by Mike, do we have a second? Do we have a second by Paul? Any discussions or questions or anything that Shannon, you or Heather would like to highlight on this? It's pretty self-explanatory, but some people only watch the videos on.
Yeah, it was discussed at CTP and HR Finance. The actual calendar is there. We were talking about bringing it as kind of an informational update tonight. However, the committee's work is done. And so rather than wait, we thought we'd just give the option to just approve it based on the discussions we had at CTP and HR Finance the other night. So we'll leave it up to the board. We can bring it back in January if you want time to actually review the different colored boxes and dates. Or we could do it tonight.
Call the question. All right, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next on our agenda this evening is the approval of the MAPS 4K contracts for 2026-2027. Attached was a topic summary sheet from Ryan Martinovich and a recommended motion from our CTP committee. Anyone willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Nubs?
I move to approve the MAPS 4K contract for 2026-2027.
Motion by Nubs. We have a second by Amber. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or motion? Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Pine River School for Young Learners School Readiness Goals 2025-2026. Topic summary sheet from Ryan Martinovich. There is a recommended motion. Anyone willing to make a motion? Paul?
I move to approve the 2025-2026 Frizzle School Readiness Goals.
Motion by Paul,
I'll second.
second by Ron. Any discussion or questions in regards to that motion or agenda item? Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Pine River School for Young Learners organizational chart update, also provided by Ryan Martinovich. There is a recommended motion from our Finance HR Committee. Anyone willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Amber?
I move to approve the updated Pine River School for Young Learners organizational chart.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second? Second by Nubs. Any discussion or questions in regards to that motion or this topic? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is approval of the 2025-2026 MAPS English Learner, or EL, District Plan of Service. Attached was a topic summary sheet co-authored by Ryan Martinovich and Amanda Patterson with the recommended motion from our CTP committee. Any board member willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Amber?
I'll move to approve the MAPS English Learner Plan for 2025-2026.
Motion by Amber, we have a second by Mike. Any discussion or questions in regards to that motion or this agenda item? Any questions or discussion on this motion or agenda item? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Do we have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the enrollment camp for charter schools. Topic summary sheet is provided by John Hagemeister from our Bridges Virtual Academy. The recommended motion from our CTP committee. Anyone willing to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? Paul?
I move to approve the BVA Governance Board enrollment limit recommendations of 2026-2027 school year.
Motion by Paul. We have a second by Ron. Any discussion or questions in regards to this motion or agenda item? Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the approval of the Merrill High School course description book for 2026-2027. Topic summary sheet was provided by Principal Tricia Dieter, and a recommended motion from our CTP committee. Any board member willing to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? Mike?
Motion for the approval of the Merrill High School course description book for the 2026-2027 as presented.
Motion by Mike, do we have a second? Second by Amber. Any questions or discussions in regards to this motion or topic? Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. We have already, through procedure, gone through I and J. We will be moving to K on our agenda, the approval of adding an additional fall and winter Special Olympics coach. Topic summary sheet was provided by Chris Hahn, and we have a recommended motion from our Finance HR Committee. Any board member willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Ron?
Motion to approve the addition of 2 Special Olympic coaches, one in the fall, one in the winter.
Motion by Ron, do we have a second? Second by Paul. Any discussion or questions in regards to this motion or this agenda item? Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is the approval of the facility study for Prairie River Middle School, or PRMS. Topic summary sheet was provided by Mark Powell, and a recommended motion from our Finance HR Committee. Any board member willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Paul?
I move the approval of CISA 10 to provide a facility study for Prairie River Middle School in the amount of $12,000. That fee will be taken out of Fund 46.
A motion by Paul, do we have a second? Second by John. Any questions or discussion in regard to this agenda item or the motion? John?
Shannon, do you recall when the study starts and ends?
Yeah, it'll be done yet this spring. So we'll reach out to them tomorrow to get the ball rolling as far as gathering up the information that they need from us. And I would say that they would be making a report back to us April.
Thank you.
Ron?
Quick question, where is CISA 10?
Chippewa Falls.
Thank you.
And through this process, we did have other groups that do that. We've heard from other places, and sometimes 3 and 4 times the money. You want to kind of highlight what was in that topic summary sheet, Shannon?
Yeah, so there's, we went to a couple, well, we went to another source that Mark has familiarity with in the past, and their bid came in at substantially higher. So that we started with them, and then we reached out to CISA 10 to see what kind of service, because they do those kind of services as well. Met with them on a couple occasions. They sent us those samples, and the Glenwood City samples are pretty much aligned with what we're trying to get, as far as information of what's the overall need, what's the highest priority, what's the time frame, what's the dollar, so we can kind of make a plan for that building moving forward and
additional discussion or questions in regards to that motion or this topic? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is agreement Merrill Ford donation for the Merrill High School Automotive Program. Attached was a donation form and cover memo from Josh Zalewski. Just a reminder, due to the fact that the donation is over the $2,500 limit set in policy 7230, the donation comes to the board separately for approval and recognition. There is a recommended motion. Anyone willing to make this motion? Mike?
Motion to approve the donation of a 2014 Ford Explorer from Greenman Merrill Ford, valued at $3,000 for the Merrill High School Automotive Program.
Motion by Mike. Do we have a second? Second by Paul. Any discussion or questions in regards to the motion or this agenda item? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is Laura Luzier Lee and Eric Lee donation for the school forest. Donation form and cover memo from Russ Nolan was provided. Policy 7230 here again is being utilized based on the amount being greater than $2,500. There is a recommended motion. Anyone willing to make a motion? Paul?
I move to approve the donation of funds from Laura Lucier Lee and Eric Lee, valued at $5,000 for using as needed at the end of the school force.
Motion by Paul. We have a second by Mike. Any discussion or questions in regards to that motion or this agenda item? Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Certainly, would like to thank both of those groups for their donations and making all of our programs better, specifically automotive and our school forest at this time. We are very blessed for our community to be that supportive and focused on certain places of need within our district. So thank you for your support and donations. This time, before I ask for someone to read the motion for the consent agenda, I would ask first if anyone would like anything pulled from the consent agenda to be handled on its own. Otherwise, at this time, I would ask for a motion for the consent agenda. Ron?
Motion to approve consent agenda items A through E, which includes minutes of November 19th, 2025 meeting, second reading and approvals of new policies 7455 accounting system for capital assets, bylaws 0152 officers, policies 3430.01/4430.01 family and medical leave absence, policy 5411 third grade promotion and retention, at-risk students, and policy 7540.04 staff technology, acceptable use and safety, claims, vouchers, and receipts totaling $3,342,818.89. Donations totaling $31,889.86. The attached personnel report contingent upon release of the contract for hiring and upon the satisfaction of appropriated liquid damages for resignations if relevant.
We have a motion by Ron. Do we have a second? Second by Mike. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions?
Abstain from November 19th.
Thank you. Motion carries as noted with the one abstention. Items for future meetings. Purpose of this agenda item is to identify any of the topics to be revisited or more information provided or anything new as far as topics or discussion related to strategic planning, et cetera. So, right now, a couple of the things we've talked about was middle school, long-term placement. We're working on that, with coming up with some more data. And that was we have that and a length of administrative contract review. We're going through that in the process. Any additional items or anything specific while we're all here for data, even for next month, as we have tabled an item? John?
Yeah, I was wondering if the board could get some education or review in regards to policy that would address like the non-consensual recording of teachers in the classroom and tie that to student discipline. Thought being, you can see plenty of examples of adults being recorded without their consent and then distributed, which is normal workplace harassment or whatever attachments you want to place to it as far as legally. But I'd be interested in knowing like what we currently have as far as policy and consequences, because sometimes the policy doesn't necessarily, we have the student handbook that runs alongside of our policies, but just so that we can see both of them at the same time, just as an educational piece for the protection and the safety of our staff.
Thank you, John. Any other board members with additional topics? Anything we would like to clarify? We did table a topic on, just to be clear, on the boys hockey cooperative. Is there any specific information or anyone they want to, any data that you would like to have for committee work and for next month? We can always email that back, but if you have something fresh on our minds, we have Mr. Murray and Mr. Hahn and
Got a quick
Mrs.
question.
Peter here. Mike?
On the co-op program that we got thrown in the valley, when East is only providing a few number of students, why wouldn't we be a co-op back into the Great Northern, where the rest of it?
Because the sum of the student population is that's not the same for two. So the students are 2,000 kids or whatever.
Yeah, I think a point of interest,
Yeah.
the point of tabling is to
Yeah.
allow time to pass through committee over
Yeah.
the next month. So I really don't see where a discussion at this level would align with a table motion.
That was,
I'm
my point was
speaking
just
to-
for the
I'm
meeting.
speaking to the chair about
Okay.
So-
procedure. So the benefit of tabling is I don't have to listen to the discussion. It can take place over the next 30 days, and then a good recommendation or a modified recommendation can come back to this board. And that's what I sought in my motion.
Fair enough. What I was seeking, and I agree with you, what I'm seeking in my question is to make sure that we have the data everyone feels necessary, not a discussion at this point. So if someone said, I would like the numbers from Newman or East for the next 6 years, of which we only had Merrill data, if someone saw that as important, feel free to get in touch with myself, Shannon, or Ron, if we're going to the CTP committee. So we have that data provided for that CTP committee. And we're looking at it from, to me, that enrollment standpoint versus a financial standpoint, if that's a wash. So I was just looking for that. We can move on. Any other topics worthy of future discussion to be added to committees? Seeing no additional hands up at this time, you can always talk to any of our committee chairs or Shannon or myself to have things added on committee meeting agendas or the next meeting in January. Tomorrow, no different than most Thursdays, or every Thursday, we have some time on Blue Jay 730 radio, approximately 8:15 a.m., depending on how much local news and updates they have. Shannon and I will be on there in the morning going through tonight's agenda. Future meetings, so everyone's aware, School Forest Advisory Meeting is on Monday, January 12th, 2026, 4 p.m. out at the School Forest. Head Start Policy Council meeting is Tuesday, January 13th, 5:30 p.m. out at Pine River School for Young Learners. We have Facilities Committee meeting Wednesday, January 14th, 3:30 p.m. in the boardroom. believe that will now be adding safety committee once we get into the new year, tied into that, but I'll verify that as we're working on the agenda. CTP, or Curriculum Technology Pupil Services Committee, next meets also on that Wednesday, January 14th, starting no sooner than 4:30 p.m. here in the boardroom, followed by Finance Human Resources Committee that Wednesday, January 14th, no sooner than 5 p.m. here in the boardroom. The Bridges Virtual Academy Governance Board next meets on Thursday, January 15th, 12:45 p.m. They meet virtually. Next regular board meeting scheduled for our board as a whole will be Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, 5:30 p.m. start here in the boardroom. Next, we have a contemplated motion to adjourn into executive closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes under section 19.85, paren 1, paren C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of a public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Purpose of the closed session is to discuss administrators and supervisors' evaluations and to conduct the superintendent's regularly scheduled summative evaluation. Do I have that motion this evening?
Yes.
Motion by Mike. Do I have a second? We have a second by Paul. Can I have a roll call on that, please, Tammy?
Ron Liberty.
Aye.
Paul Crew.
Aye.
John Smith.
Aye.
Nubs Ashcliffe.
Aye.
Amber Durizzo.
Aye.
Mike Cornisher.
Aye.
Kevin Blake.
Aye. All right, at this time, that concludes our open session of the meeting. Thank you all for your attendance. This time, I do not anticipate coming back into open session, so thank you and wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays if I don't see you before.